All right, so today we're going to talk about how TikTok hit 1 billion MAU or monthly active users and what that means from a business perspective. So my name is Eric Siu and I own a portfolio of different marketing businesses and I'm here to help level up the world. So let's get into it. So TikTok has hit 1 billion monthly active users. TikTok you have at 1 billion over here. And then you have YouTube at 2 billion, Instagram at 1.5 billion, Facebook at 2.9 billion. So obviously Instagram is owned by Facebook. You know, TikTok is up here, and then you have these other channels. Okay, so it's no small feat for sure. And, you know, it's obviously a great thing for another social channel to pop up that's not owned by Facebook or Google. So I want to give a couple thoughts and also talk about kind of how the earnings look for TikTok creators in general and where I think it's going. So first and foremost, you have Charli D'Amelio. So Charli D'Amelio she's one of the biggest creators on TikTok. I believe she has, let's take a look up here. So she has 95.1 million followers on TikTok. You have Addison Rae, and then you have these other people as well. And also her sister, for Charli, her sister Dixie D'Amelio has 41.7 million followers. If you come down here, you can see how much they're typically making per post. Okay, these are kind of rough ballparks. Okay, so Charli's at 48,000 per post, Lauren's at 42,000. And then if you scroll down here, you can look at their earnings. So according to Forbes, this is how much these stars kind of take home. Okay, so Addison Rae makes $5 million a year, Charli D'Amelio $4 million a year, Dixie $2.9 million a year. And keep in mind, at least I know for Charli and Dixie, they're super young in their early 20s. And Addison, I believe, is the same thing as well. So just wanted to give you some context there. You know, with TikTok, it's a great channel, especially if you're looking to reach D2C. If you're looking to reach kind of young people and you're looking to reach consumers, looking to take an action on something, it makes a lot of sense, right? And discoverability, well, in terms of kind of going quote unquote viral, there's a good chance because of the algorithm. Now, what I would say where I think TikTok lags behind, like a YouTube, for example, is discoverability. We actually had Nate O'Brien on our YouTube channel in the past, and with 1 million subscribers, he generates $444,000 in revenue just from YouTube ads alone. That doesn't include all the other stuff that he might be doing. You know, there's other people here. You can see that they're kind of earning, you know, per video. If a video gets over 1 million views, for example, then it might earn anywhere from $3,400 to $40,000, which is a wide range. You know, when you think about coming back to Charli D'Amelio and Dixie D'Amelio, the reason that they're making so much money right now isn't because they've gone completely all in on TikTok. It's because they started on TikTok, focused on it, did really well there, and they started to diversify to other channels. So that's why Charli and Dixie are also doing well on Instagram. My firm belief is that the top creators tend to stick it out on YouTube. Let's look at Logan Paul. So I believe him and his brother, they started out on Vine originally, and Vine is kind of like, it was kind of TikTok before TikTok became a thing, short form video, right? And they learned that you could make a decent amount of money on TikTok, and don't get me wrong, $48,000 per post is a lot of money. But what you could be doing if you wanted to expand your brand even more is you look at Logan Paul now. He's got merch. He is, you know, getting into like boxing fights, right? He's earning more money from that in terms of promotions, and he's growing his brand on Instagram, and he's growing his brand on YouTube as well. Okay. When I think about what has more longevity, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. You know, when we think about earning power, you think about longevity, you want to build your brand for the long term. YouTube's got more potential. YouTube's at 2 billion, right? And I believe that it's going to continue to get bigger and bigger. If you're starting out right now, if you're trying to go D2C, or if you're trying to build a brand at all, I think TikTok is great for starting up. YouTube's got shorts. Instagram's got its Reel, so they're trying to compete as well. Snap's also got its Spotlight. So what matters more to you right now? So from a business perspective, right, this is coming from an entrepreneur's perspective, I am betting more on YouTube right now. We're hiring more YouTube consultants at the moment. I think with the TikTok, it's a lot of stuff is going to be hit or miss, right? The algorithm's going to decide for you. And what's beautiful about that is that, you know, you can have a hit come out of nowhere. But if you're looking to generate more revenues, if you are looking to, again, look at Mr. Beast. It took him 4 or 5 years to even start to get traction with his YouTube, and now I believe he's the largest YouTuber in the world, and all he wants to do is focus on YouTube because he believes it's going to be the thing still in the next 10 years. I would say, I mean, you know, when I look at my own user behavior, when I look at what I'm doing for lunch, I'm watching YouTube videos, right? When I'm looking to learn something, I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm getting served ads. When I'm creating this type of content, it's going on YouTube, right? And from there, YouTube, we can figure out what we want to do with the other channels. But the key thing here when it comes from a business perspective is, if your goal is long-term, if your goal is to build a brand for the long-term, if your goal is to build more revenue for yourself, to build sustainable growth for yourself, then YouTube is the way to go, and it's going to take a long time to get going. Now, if your goal is to, again, just build a brand and try to bet on the algorithm, making it happen for you from an organic standpoint, you might go with TikTok instead, right? But we just don't know. I think there's more of a risk as well, because the United States has talked about banning TikTok in the past. It didn't follow through. That was during the Trump administration. But we don't know what's going to happen moving forward. And what we do know also is that the government in China has the final say when it comes to these companies. They can do whatever they want. And so I'd rather de-risk myself, and I'd rather bet for the long term. I've just realized that what has always tended to work is something, when I end up betting for the long term. So even though TikTok has reached 1 billion monthly active users, and I think it will continue to grow, my bet's going to be on YouTube, right? Which is why you see a lot of other kind of entrepreneurs or investors, they're switching over to YouTube as well. They're paying consultants, they're paying a lot for editing, they're paying a lot for good equipment. Even my friend the other day, I went over to his place. He had like a $15,000 portable setup just to record YouTube videos, right? So if we're looking for discoverability, we're looking for longevity, we're looking for good, ad revenue on top of that, YouTube is the way to go. Everyone uses YouTube, everyone loves YouTube, and everyone learns from YouTube, right? So that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit the subscribe and the bell button, and don't forget to check out one of these videos over here, and we will catch you in the next one.